What's up, everyone? Mark Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition. A heated debate in the strength training community and bodybuilding community has been on leg extensions. Are they worth it? Are they more harmful than they are good? Do they lead to gains of any sort? And the thing is, I'm kind of caught between two camps, right? Like, not only am I a speed and conditioning specialist, speed and performance specialist, but I'm also a retired professional bodybuilder. So I've done my fair share of leg extensions. Do I do them anymore? No. But one of the reasons is I train in my house and I don't feel like getting a leg extension machine put in my basement. It's just not worth my time, space, or effort. I'm so busy lately, training at home is just the best way, and I can overload. I can do my squats, I can do my hex bar deadlifts, I can do my bench press. I do everything I want. I don't have to wait on machines, don't have to drive anywhere. It's amazing. So leg extension has been much maligned by the strength training community. And they've also been basically applauded by the bodybuilding community as something that's easier on your knees, which I'll say, for the record, is absolutely, almost conclusively demonstrated by science to be false. However, does that mean we should avoid leg extensions at all costs? Well, it depends on your goals. It depends on what you want to do. So what I want to do is, first of all, there's an article down below. I reference everything I'm saying here. And essentially, this article is an in-depth look at the leg extension and if it's good or bad. So here are some arguments that we have for and against leg extensions, mainly against, okay? One is increased joint stress. You basically have all your joints loaded on your lower limb, lower part of your leg, and you're putting all that stress on your knee, moving like this with no other activation of any other joint, any other hip, anything else to compensate for that shearing force on the knee. Number two is reduced hamstring activity. Obviously, if you're focusing on the front of your leg, you're not going to be working as much to the back of your leg, except for a squat where you have to activate to go down. Being that you are seated in a supported position, you will not have much, if any, hamstring activation. Reduced VMO, which is your vastus medialis oblique activity. That is part of the front of your leg. Medialis. Think about where medialis is, right? Contributes to lazy adductors, abductors, and hamstrings. Went over hamstrings, basically being that your leg's just moving like this. There's no side-to-side movement. Side to side. Got me walking side to side. Okay, anyway, constant tension on the ACL. Obviously, if you're moving like this, your knee is going to have shearing force, and basically no carryover to any closed chain movement. Essentially, a closed chain movement is basically where your feet are on the ground. Think squat, think bench press, think deadlift. Whereas an open chain, your feet are like dangling, right? From the end of that leg extension makes it an open chain movement. So here's the deal. Like, I'm going to go over point by point these things and why they don't really matter. And then why, if you want to do leg extension, it depends on your goals. Increased joint stress. So, however, when you're doing an open chain movement like the leg extension, there is even more joint strain because you don't have the other muscles picking up and joints picking up through the shearing force on that knee, on that area of your knee. So you do have increased joint stress from the leg extension as opposed to a squat. Now, one would think with all the good gym bros, sorry, I got jumbled up there. One would think with all the good gym bros out there saying, hey, if your knees hurt during squats, do leg extensions, that they're onto something because you don't have weight on your back. And the answer is no. Actually, studies have shown pretty conclusively, in my opinion, while nothing's ever conclusive, they've demonstrated that squats are much better on your knees, have much less shearing force, and also one can argue that a squat is a primal movement being one that you need to survive. For example, if you're in the jungle and you have no toilet, realize toilets are a modern thing. A lot of societies, I believe 60+% of the world, still doesn't have a toilet. So you have to squat to take a shit. You have to do a full ROM squat to extend your rectum, open it up, and poop. Nobody poops standing up. However, I will argue that I normally don't poop with 315 pounds on my back. I normally sit down on the toilet and take a shit. If I was in the jungle, I'd avoid having load on my back to poop. So I find that kind of a silly argument, although I do make it myself at times. Reduced hamstring VMO activity and contributes to lazy adductor muscles and abductor muscles. Abso-friggin-lutely, 100% true. 100% true. When you do leg extension, you're not utilizing your abductors and adductors sufficiently. You're not using your hamstring efficiently. But who the hell does leg extensions as their only movement? Leg extensions are just one of many movements that should be included in your leg routine. In fact, even those who don't do squats, those people who are machines only, those hyper bros, right? Hypertrophy bros, what they do is they go in, they do leg extension, they do hack squat, they do leg press. Okay, they do all those things. They might even throw in the adductor, abductor machine. Unless the leg extension is the only thing you're doing on leg day, and if you walk, and if you're even further, if you know how to do mini bands or anything like that, the lack of recruitment in the leg extension of the VMO, of the adductors, abductors, of the of everything, of your glutes, of you name it. It doesn't really matter. I mean, if we were looking at that, we'd only do squats, deadlifts, and snatches, right? Because you're always going to be underutilizing different parts of your body. So yes, as a only movement, leg extension is very, 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 very limiting. However, you know, there's more to it than that, because most people aren't just doing leg extension. Constant ACL tension, absolutely. Constant tension on the ACL. However, I want to bring up something else. Ed Cohn, Ronnie Coleman, both have fake hips. Ronnie Coleman did a lot of leg extensions. I'd assume Ed Cohn, in his journey to becoming perhaps the greatest powerlifter of all time, didn't do much in the name of leg extensions. He did squats, a primal movement, one of our babies in the strength training community. Squat, 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 squat. Their hips are messed up. Anytime you overload to the point of that, of what they're doing, of what professional bodybuilders did, I did to my body in my quest to be a professional bodybuilder, you know, it's gonna wreck, it's gonna have wear and tear. You'll have so many miles on your body, bro, right? So is it that much worse than squats? Is it constant ACL tension? Yes. However, squats, deadlifts, whatever, I can argue have constant tension on other muscle groups. So with that said, I know there's constant ACL tension, and for that it sucks. But does it make it as bad as some strength experts make it out to be? Absolutely not. Another thing they argue is no carryover to closed chain movements. A closed chain movement would be a squat. So basically, here's what the science or the bros say. The good bros, the science bros. Not the bros, but the science bros. Basically, if you squat more, you will inherently leg extend more, if that's even a word. If you leg extend more, you will not squat more, because squat requires your whole chain. Thus, take it a step further. If you're a football player, a squat will transfer onto the field, whereas a leg extension will not. Yes and no. However, you know, let me just get straight into my synopsis. If I'm training my soccer players, you know, I train hundreds of soccer players at a soccer academy in St. Charles, Illinois. If I'm training them, you don't see a leg extension anywhere near my training area. No. I have hex bars. I don't even have squats. I don't even have them squat yet, right? Squats are down the road. I have them load their posterior chain with a hex bar. I don't even need them squatting. I do not need a soccer player putting that spinal load on themselves, especially at a younger age. I'll have them goblet squats and medicine ball. I might even move into medicine ball snatches. I'm not rocking, okay? I am not going to rock that, okay? Bottom line is, it's all about what you use it for. What does leg extension do? It places load on your muscle. It loads the muscle directly. Is that effective as a squat at building overall leg muscle? Absolutely not. No one is saying it is, at least I'm not. Some good bros at the gym might say it, but I'm not saying that. What a leg extension does, it further adds volume to your quadricep training in addition to a compound movement based or complete training system utilizing your adductors, abductors, hamstrings, glutes, etc., and places overall load on your leg extensions. And what do we know leads to muscle growth? Volume, load, obviously progressive overload being a major variable. That doesn't mean we just do squats. Even though in my program at this stage of my life, my leg day is pretty much squats. Yeah, I do squats and mini bands. That's all I do. But I'm not trying to be a professional bodybuilder anymore. If I was trying to be a soccer player, you wouldn't see me on leg extensions. Never. However, if I'm trying to build muscle, I don't see a reason to avoid them. I don't see a reason to go out of my way to do them, but I don't see a reason to avoid them. Anyway, guys, click on the link below. I want you to read this article. I think I did a good job on it. I think it's a good devil's advocate article because it skates both lines. It goes into the strength community and why they don't like it. And it goes into why, as a bodybuilder, I don't really give a crap what they like. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. Be sure to click on the article. I'm Mark Lobliner, and that's not a game.